Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
And this is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And you're listening to The Drop, our weekly podcast that I'd love to say is all about running, but it's about running, life in general, and the musings of wherever we feel like going. So buckle up, Buttercup. We're going for a ride.
Yep. If you're new here, you don't even know what's about to happen.
Yeah. Lock it down.
And neither do we.
Yeah. It actually is true.
I mean, we're kind of, I would say the benefit to you for listening to this podcast is twofold. One, if you're bored in your car, obviously you could do that like you do with all podcasts. But really, this one, we'll be your running buddies today. And we'll check in with you along the way, but we'll which we forgot to do last week.
Yeah. New format, new us, old us.
But we will check in with you. What we're imagining is that we're your friends that are running along with you, kind of sharing that conversation that you have to take your mind off of your paces and feelings and maybe transport you to another beautiful land.
You just described psychedelics,
Yeah.
and I don't think we're that.
I do. I think that the way that your voice filters, Robbie.
You think so?
It's trippy, man.
I'm a psilocybin style voice.
I know I've been listening to you sometimes, and I'll be like, whoa,
Oh,
mind expanded.
well, that's a good thing. I'll have to remember that for future reference.
I'll bet your kids, when you're putting them down at night,
I'm a dose of...
yeah, like how fast do they fall asleep?
They're a dose, like a melatonin mixed with magic mushrooms.
Yeah, a little Oxycontin.
Yeah, hopefully not that. Yeah, let's see. I do read bedtime stories, do puzzles.
Do they have a favorite?
Bedtime stories?
Yeah. Like, is there one book that you've read like 100 times?
My favorite is The Gruffalo. Have you ever read that?
The
Yeah.
Gruffalo?
Yeah.
No.
That is a Dr. Seuss book.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Actually, it sounds like it is.
It's the other guy, the guy who does the Monster Island one, the Max.
Maurice Sendak. No, Gruffalo. It's like, I think it's a newer book, like in terms of the history of children's books.
Oh, it looks familiar.
You probably
Yeah, that
seen it.
looks like the same illustrator, at least from the islands.
It's a similar vibe to Where the Wild Things Are.
Yeah, that's the book I was trying to remember.
It's just
I had a little Max doll.
it's a really good storyline. Really?
Yeah.
Did it have did you have the costume of Max or
I didn't have it was a doll that was wearing,
like a crown or whatever?
It had that little Max suit on.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised we don't see that around more.
Yeah,
And
that'd be a
I
good
didn't
Halloween.
realize it's also like kind of is that where Adventure Time got its look from?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Anyway, my kids, I've read 5-minute Star Wars stories
That's a good one.
about, I don't know how many times you think, Meg?
1 million.
Yeah. And then I read them the entire Harry Potter.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. Started reading the Hardy Boys, which is my favorite series.
Does it hold
growing
up?
Yeah, it's a little difficult. Like if you don't know some of the older terms, like
remember-
for car, like they call it cars jalopies, which
Oh,
I
yeah.
love, but I don't know. Kids really understand that.
I wonder what the etymology of jalopy is.
I don't know. It sounds like something that could be like non-PC.
Yeah. I also liked Encyclopedia Brown in that
Oh,
genre.
yeah.
Like that was my jam. Like, how is the encyclopedia going to figure out why birds are crashing into windows? Oh, they're getting drunk
Yeah.
off of fermented berries.
Did you guys see how many
That's-
birds were in the park this morning?
You
by
mean
the way,
robots?
like there was like hundreds.
Not this morning I didn't, but I've seen.
I think they're
recently.
confused. They're like, is it spring? Is it winter? Like, which direction should we be going? I think all the robots are having a difficult time.
I was walking around at lunch, I think last week. I forgot to tell you this, and there's a pigeon doing like crazy stuff. Like it looked like the programming was messed up, and I was just
It was moonwalking.
I was just standing there taking video of it for probably a couple minutes, and I'm like, people think I'm crazy right now.
But here's the
100%.
thing: why have we not seen this video?
Yeah. Why did that get posted?
I'll bring it up. Maybe we can post it to the YouTube version of this podcast. But long story short, someone had thrown, pigeon
Breadcrumbs
feed
or
or whatever,
something,
breadcrumbs in front of their house. But I didn't understand. It kept coming back to that, but it was doing loop de loops, like
A rain dance.
yeah.
Wait, are you talking about the right near our house?
No, it was around here.
Oh, okay.
We should also mention
There's
that.
one- yeah,
That one guy who just throws.
yeah.
I don't know
Feed in
if
the
you're
street.
if you're a regular listener. You heard Robbie talk about the time where he met a blind fellow and helped him around the city.
Mm-hmm.
I just happened to be driving, saw a blind guy. I was like, what are the chances?
Yeah.
So I took a photo of him I didn't ask him, but
he doesn't know.
And I showed it to Robbie, and he's like, "That's the guy.
That's him." Yeah, let me know if you spot him again next time. I'm meaning to get back in touch with him.
You got to give him a T-shirt.
Oh yeah, I would. I don't know. I feel like I left a lot of unanswered questions out there that I really needed to, because now I keep thinking of all these questions I want to figure out.
That is the worst, when we interview someone and afterwards you're like, how did I not ask that?
Yeah.
Like that, or sometimes they say something and you just like let it go.
Right. Because it's hard to come back to.
Because you're thinking of the next question or whatever, and you're like, I should have followed up on that one because that was weird.
Yeah. Anyways, so we're back. Meg's back.
I'm back.
Okay. All right. Maybe not.
I don't know. I don't even know what day it is, what time it is. And we're going to be going to Tokyo in a week, which is going to totally wreck me. But
you got invited to go to Germany.
Which I almost did.
Yeah, which would have been her coming back from California and then hopping on a plane and flying to Germany.
I would have just went from Germany to Tokyo, not even come back here.
That would be the move.
I think so.
But I don't know.
I would have been gone for so long.
It's still got to be a long flight from Germany to
it's probably
Japan. I mean, Asia's huge.
Probably equally long.
Yeah.
So didn't go there.
Kafuzi did.
But where did you go?
I took a trip with Widefoot Jarrett and Brandon from the team over to San Luis Obispo to see Running Warehouse. We packed a ton into, I guess, 4 or 5 days we were there.
Okay, and here's what was irritating, Robbie. One of the reasons I decided not to go when they first brought it up was the first time I went, it was less than fun. I mean, it was fun doing the content.
Yeah.
But when the content was done, I was like at this hotel that these guys stayed at, and apparently nobody told me they have free happy hour and a free breakfast.
Oh, wow.
Free happy hour from 5:30 to 7:30 every single night.
Was it in Embassy Suites?
No,
No,
it was
it's a Comfort Inn or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
stepped up
I didn't
their
have
game,
that.
Comfort Inn. All right.
These guys got entertained, and she'll get into that. I ended up going to a rundown, one of those family style Mexican restaurants where they have the red dimpled like plastic cups.
Oh yeah.
And the like your
Sounds
salsa
classic.
comes in a plastic like cafeteria bowl.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what's wrong here.
Okay.
Sounds
So
good.
I go to that. Connor, out of pity, shows up at there and watches me, because he doesn't drink, watches me drink a beer and eat tacos. Apparently, he already ate dinner.
So Connor's real voyeuristic about watching people eat.
It was somewhat awkward, but there was, and like, I ended up doing all my runs around the little town at San Luis Obispo. Meanwhile, these guys, I'll let Megan tell you what they were doing. I feel like I totally got gypped.
Okay. Well, Connor, let it be known.
Yeah.
You need to make up for it next time.
So Megan, tell them all the wonderful things you
It
guys
did sound like he might have missed you a little bit. So
All right.
there was that.
Maybe they didn't have, I don't know. I was going to say like maybe it was in their early days, but it definitely wasn't in their early
I
days.
think
wasn't
that
in the
this
early
was
days.
way more planned out. Like we didn't
Yeah.
have downtime at all.
That was kind of last minute when you were asked to do stuff.
It
right?
was last
Right.
minute, and it was also the breakout of COVID was just starting, where we were like hearing about this cold that was going around China. And
It was in January 2020.
yeah.
Yeah. I went to the Nike headquarters, and then we went to San Luis Obispo. And
But there wasn't like any precautions yet.
no, but we
No,
were starting
we didn't
to
even
hear,
know what it was.
We were starting to hear about it, and the Justin guy, who was my liaison at the time for Running Warehouse, dude got real sick. He had a cough, unproductive cough,
Yeah.
So
So is he still alive?
he's not at Running Warehouse anymore.
Interesting. All right. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So we flew out on Tuesday. We got in around 1 p.m. there.
You don't have to say times.
Okay,
Just,
yeah.
Nobody cares.
and you don't even know.
They took us to this Firestone lunch place, which apparently is like a very big deal.
Barbecue,
and the
beef
guys
tips,
got
all
the
that.
tri-tip.
Tri-tip, that's it.
That's like the
on.
thing there. Which
Dude, that's enough for me to just fly out there.
Robbie, next time it's going to be you and me. I'll bring Megan, but she'll just be
All
there.
right,
'cause, like,
continue. Just skip over that part because now I'm mad.
all right.
And then, so it was interesting that they took us to lunch and then wanted to go on a run. But we went on a run through Cal Poly and up to this place called the Architecture Graveyard, which was very cool. It's basically this place where they had students do these like projects where they build these
that's cool.
like giant things. And but I guess he was saying they haven't done it in like 5 years, so they were kind of like dying.
But it looked cool.
I mean, it is a graveyard.
Yeah.
So
it looks cool though. It looks.
But yeah, it was very cool.
Did you see the picture of Jarrett and who was he with? Was that Connor?
Yeah.
doing a Titanic thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at our analytics the other day because I was trying to come up with numbers for a sponsorship, and you can see like how many people tap back to look at a story. The one of Connor and Jarrett was like skyrocketed.
Yes. Man, love was blooming in the architectural graveyard.
Yeah.
Some things do live on.
Yeah.
And then the heart goes on.
You know, there's not enough room on the door if Jarrett's on it though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Apparently there was a sign up there
if his
too.
If his 1 foot's on the door,
Yeah.
it's game over. No one's getting off that boat alive.
I could see Connor pushing him off the door.
There was a sign that said like danger, do not like stand anywhere near this. So I found that out after we got the photo.
Oh.
Yes.
Cool. Keep going.
So that was day one. Day two, I got up really early because I wanted all of their runs for us were planned in the evening, and they were just like a few miles. So I was like, well, I'll get in a run in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Forget that this tiny town doesn't really have street lights. Like they do, but they're like every half mile or something. And I didn't have a headlamp. And I got up early because I'm on East Coast time. So I'm running at 5 a.m. in pitch black. Don't really know where I'm going. So I got out my phone and was like running with my like flashlight on my phone, like a real sketch ball.
Is this when I called you?
And yeah, so Thomas called me, which was nice because then I was like, oh, I'm talking to someone on the phone. So if I get like murdered, at least he'll know.
Murdered in San Luis Obispo.
Yeah, I felt very safe there.
It's gonna take some work.
I mean, yeah, California. I think they're over the serial killer stuff, right? That was more the 70s.
I mean, it was trending in the 70s. I think that
Yeah.
it's not as hot as it used to be.
yeah, so that's good.
And then we went out to test out our first run in the Hoka Rocket X2. So we went out with Connor, did like just like a 10-minute run, but it was like along the beach and beautiful and
You did.
slow.
Did you do the first thoughts that same time? Or
We did, and we filmed the first thoughts out there
'Cause
along the.
Just to refresh people, and we'll get into the review. But what was your initial first thought in one word?
One word?
One word.
Oh,
Great.
Oh,
okay.
For those of you who did not hear it, she
Yeah.
said, "Great."
Great.
Okay.
Not grape.
Oh, I'm trying to figure out what this town is because literally I have no idea. You could have told me it was near Oregon, and I would have probably agreed with you.
Well, it's closer to
it's-
Oregon than we are, for sure.
It's like directly in the middle of
I see
between San Francisco
And LA.
I see it now. Okay.
Robbie,
And is this a popular place for people to live?
only if you go to school at Cal Poly.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's a college town.
Okay.
But it is a popular place.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I would.
I feel like if you have an abbreviation for your name, you're a popular place.
Yeah, slow.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I would do if I were you. If they invited you out, what you do is you fly you and Kimmy, San Francisco.
Uh-huh.
You rent a convertible. You drive
Oh, dude,
all the way
I do wanna
down
do that.
the coastline.
One
Yeah.
route.
And you go through Miracle Mile or the 7-mile drive, which is supposed to be, well, I've been on it. It's amazing. It's on Pebble Beach and all that
Is that like where Big Sur is?
Yeah.
Is
You'll
that
go through Big Sur and then end up in Slow.
Yeah.
And that would be like two birds, a bunch of stones.
Yeah, that's a lot of stones.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that.
Plus, the Kimmy would be happy.
Yeah, she's pretty sad right now
Oh.
overall. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
That's the only thing that would cheer her up is a drive down the coast.
I got a picture of like an invalid Kimmy with like a head kerchief on.
Yeah.
And with those big star sunglasses and her just.
She has
woefully-
polio. She has
Yeah.
her polio blanket over her legs.
Exactly.
Just kind of.
And you're driving her. See, honey? That's the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah. And then it's just the
I always wanted to see the Pacific Ocean.
end credits. It's the end of our lives.
And then, hey, we got to stop at Running Warehouse.
Yeah. Real quick. Got to check out the new Hoka racing shoe.
Okay, one of my favorite things that you did, and it was probably that day, was try cactus juice.
Was that day? No, I think that was the following day. But yeah, we did do that.
What is it?
Okay, guys, this is the weirdest soda ever, which apparently has been discontinued almost everywhere except for like Slow.
I kind of want it.
That's awesome.
And
So it's like Four Locos, but not.
yeah,
I don't think there's the caffeine in it, though, right?
That I didn't check, but it was the craziest flavor. Like it literally changed flavors when you were drinking it. Like at first it tasted like pineapple and then it tasted like a creamsicle.
Which, that sounds amazing.
It
And
is an orange pineapple blast, so that does make
okay,
sense.
Robbie, don't you think this would make an amazing mixer for like a tequila?
It would.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good.
I think you could mix it with just about anything.
If you did the vanilla pinnacle vodka,
What
not
about
a bad idea.
What about rum?
I mean,
That's like a pina colada almost.
pineapple, yeah.
Kind
would
of,
work.
yeah.
All right, we got to get our hands on a case.
Yeah, they're like $20 if you buy a 6-pack on Amazon or something. And people were like, I'm going to do it. I was like, I mean,
Did anybody?
20
do it?
bucks for a 6-pack.
yeah,
Damn.
it's wild. It's because you can't get it
Yeah.
anywhere.
Contraband. You should have maybe bought some and put them in your luggage.
Well,
and
so here's the
resold them when you
craziest
I
did.
thing.
kind of asked her to, and she.
No,
ignored
here's
me.
what happened. Connor went up to buy us the
And it was out?
the cans, and we were going to get one for Brandon, and he was like, "Oh, those were the last 2." So Jarrett and I got the last 2
Really?
cans in this.
What if
machine.
this was some sort of magic space time travel thing, and it was like, like you and Jarrett just by chance got the last 2 trips.
Oh.
got the?
Well, think about that. Somebody has to drink the last 2.
It was us.
Who could it be?
And we filmed it. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, first off, here's what did drive me nuts about their filming
you're
it,
lucky.
Robbie.
Yeah.
Product placement. We deal with shoes all the time, and I'm always like, put the good looking side of the shoe out.
Uh-huh.
These guys are grabbing the can,
Oh,
you're
just
getting
putting
the barcode and stuff. I'm like, no, show the art,
Yeah.
drink with the art showing.
It's
I didn't-
tough teaching these
Kids,
kids.
man.
how
I
to be
didn't.
real.
I didn't honestly think that video was going to go anywhere. Like, there's a lot of stuff we film that's like
How
it
many
just
views?
ends up in a
How
hole.
many views did it have?
Well, they just posted on Jarrett and Megan's channel, and they
okay.
tagged us, so we put it in our story.
Gotcha.
It got a few thousand.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Cactus cooler. All right. That's
Yeah.
cool.
All right, so
Literally.
mosey on with the rest.
Okay, so Rocket X, we filmed that. We did more filming in the studio, so you guys will see all that fun content from Running Warehouse at some point over the next month, I suppose. And then we did the run up to the P, which is where you saw those fun sunset photos.
P stands for Cal Poly.
Let's clarify that.
There's a giant letter P on this hill.
I run to the P every day in Baltimore. It's not enjoyable.
As a matter of fact, the nice thing about being dark this morning, I was able to pull off to the side, basically just pull my shorts to the side. And
Real quick.
Okay,
I've never seen Thomas just like go to the bathroom in public. He actually does it in public. Like there's no standing behind the tree, like being inconspicuous.
well, it was dark out. I was like, I don't need to hide.
I mean, I guess you have a good point.
I mean, when I looked over it, so I kind of had to pee, and I looked over, and I was like, wow, it's really pitch black over there. I was like, Robbie, let's run over here real quick.
It's still like one of the entrances to the park. It's like off. I mean, you were in the grass.
Yeah,
so
I pretended I was stretching for a second while a
wow.
dog walker went by,
Yeah.
and then just
I was like, wow, all right, that's happening. But
This doesn't shock me at all. So
yeah, okay. Anyways, so you ran up to the P.
yeah, that was really cool. And we really bombed down it, which was like very not smart. Like,
What shoes were you wearing for that?
That we were wearing the Solomon Ultra Glide,
Well, that's at least a trail shoe.
I think.
yeah.
All right.
I don't know. All the days and things get blurred together. But anyway, so
I'll believe you.
the next morning was this challenge that Connor had like hyped up but wouldn't tell us what it is. And so we drive out to this beach, which we're supposed to say it's an undisclosed location because the
You shouldn't be
surfers,
running on the dune.
well, probably that. But the surfers out there
Just-
are like very territorial,
Oh, right.
and they get mad if you like even show where they are. And so we had to like walk by them.
Give me a
and
break. It's God's water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like
that's a
the
good name for a band.
they were like the old school surfers, like they'd been out there for a long time.
Yeah. All right.
But so anyway, we go to this beach, and the challenge is this relay style climb up a dune as fast as you can.
Which apparently Max King did one time when he was
Yeah,
there.
he holds the record.
Oh.
I got to tell you, this was 20 seconds of my life that I had, and it was so painful and uncomfortable trying to run up a dune.
Oh, really?
It was ridiculous.
You're basically, every footstep is going
You're
back
just-
a foot.
Yeah, you're just sliding down
Is
as you're
it was
trying
a
to
pretty
get up.
steep dune then?
Did you see the pictures?
Like this.
Kind of. I couldn't really tell.
Like you had to use your hands.
Oh.
Like doggy style.
And then it was loose sand.
One way to phrase it. Yeah.
And it's loose sand, so like there's nothing you could do to like get a good grip.
It's almost like
It was-
swimming on land.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, that doesn't sound enjoyable by any means.
Yeah. So that was.
Did you wear shoes for it?
Yeah, so I wore the Solomon Ultra Glide shoes for that.
And who was in this challenge?
On my team, it was Jarrett, Brandon, and Drew Whitcomb from Wear Testers. And on the other team, it was Connor, Grace from Running Warehouse,
Run Like Heller?
Emily Heller, Run Like Heller, and David from Doctors of Running.
Okay.
And you were telling me that Brandon hurt himself.
Okay.
Great.
I have so many Brandon stories, which I will just save for you guys and not our podcast listeners. But
I think they would want to know.
Yeah,
Like the one about the guy never had sushi before this trip.
Never been to a winery, never had sushi. There's so many things.
Right.
Okay, but so we're doing our warm up before this challenge, and we're just going for like a very easy mile jog along the beach. And Brandon all of a sudden just like disappears for a hot second. And I was like, oh, he's probably going to go pee or something, because that's what all the guys were doing. Mm-hmm. And so we're jogging, and on our way back, I see he's like climbed up to the top of this dune. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like, come on down. Like, we're going to go start the challenge. So he goes from 0 to 60, like bombs down this dune. And as his final step hits the flat sand, he said something popped.
And this is like in his hamstring?
Yeah.
And we're going to Tokyo in less than a week.
But he like runs up to us and he's holding his leg and he's doing that like crazy laugh.
Oh yeah. That's a laugh where you're like, no, something's wrong.
Yeah.
You're trying to make.
Oh boy, that was dumb.
Yeah. And it's like really bad.
Yeah. Isn't it weird? I forgot to close the barn door. It's burning down.
And so actually I forgot to say Brandon was not on our team. We had to substitute him for Caleb from Running Warehouse because he injured himself.
Oh, so when you ran to the top of this dune, did you run back down, or it was just to the top?
So it was relay style where I started and I ran halfway, handed it to Drew, who ran to the top, who handed it to Jarrett, who ran down halfway, who handed it to Caleb, who ran down halfway. I mean, we had to run down, all of us, but
gotcha.
That was not my portion.
You did have to run down?
I mean, just to get back down.
Did you sled down?
No, I ran down. It was actually really fun to run down.
Oh.
The rundown looked like the fun part.
It was super fun.
Like I would have definitely, if we had done the relay, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I'll do the downhill part.
It was so much better than the uphill.
And then did you jump in the ocean or anything like that? I know it's cold.
No, it was freezing cold.
Okay. Also, California, they're full of shit because you went out there. It was like 30 degrees that morning.
That's right. Yeah.
And they made us wear Running Warehouse singlets. Yeah. That
that's a punishment in itself.
Not only were they most unflattering shirt I've ever put on in my life, but it was 35 degrees. So we had to wear singlets and shorts.
And Robbie, the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
That's a cold ocean.
Yeah, I've been told.
In the middle of the summer, that thing is shockingly cold.
Right.
So like, I would have loved to seen you there because I know that you would have.
I would have made an attempt.
Yeah, you would have fought with yourself to go in there. And then
probably would have had to just because.
And then like Brandon, you'd have that funny laugh because like you're in complete shock.
I think I've only swam in the Pacific Ocean once, and that was in San Diego. So
San Diego.
Yeah. Y'all know what that translates to. Okay, so then sand dunage.
Yeah, they took us to a really cool lunch spot. We did more filming that day. Our goal every day was to make it to our free happy hour from 5:30, so we could get in as many glasses of wine before we went to dinner with everyone, which we succeeded every day.
Nice.
And then the final day, we were supposed to do a challenge where we were supposed to do a donut mile. And I straight up told Connor I was not doing it.
Really?
I was like, there's no way I'm going to vomit up donuts on this Friday morning.
And Emily Heller said no too, so they canceled it.
Did Jarrett just take on the burden of all three of you?
No, it turned out no one really wanted to do it.
Time out. There's no way you're telling me Jarrett didn't want to do it.
He would have done it, but here's the thing: is it was the last day, and we had been filming and running and going constantly for 3 days, and all of us were like, "Do we really want to go do this?"
Couldn't you do like a quarter donut mile? Just cut one up into 4 pieces. I know that's not as cool.
Here's the thing: I think it's even the mile. Like they were tired; they'd been,
and it was like they were going to have the whole film crew out there and stuff.
Yeah.
So instead, we did a really nice run along the beach and the Bob Jones Trail.
Okay.
And it was such a nice morning. They took us to breakfast on the beach afterwards.
Dude,
And then
None of
you
that-
want a honeymoon?
None of this happened when I was there.
And then wait, this was the best day. Okay, so we go for a run along the beach. They take us to breakfast on the beach. We check into our Airbnb, and then we went to wineries for the afternoon.
Dude, okay.
Meanwhile, I'm at home doing all the work.
Define all the work. Okay.
I don't know.
Man.
I was without my Megan, which was hard.
So what do you think we're gonna have to do to? I feel like maybe there was some sort of bait and switch going on here that we don't even know about yet.
I don't know. Yeah, you guys, you missed out. It
But
was
Megan
really
did
fun.
get called a mom of a college student while she was there.
Okay, so we went to a swanky wine bar called Region, which is very, very cool.
Region.
It's where they have like the taps on the wall, so it's like self-serve,
That's
which is
always
also really
classy.
dangerous because
Very
you just
classy.
like pour and you see the money just like.
Yeah. By the way, that's a whole thing. Is the self-serve wine or beer? Like this is you're charging the same, actually more,
More.
and I have to do the work.
Right.
Get that out of
And
here.
you can't tell somebody your problems. Or you
Right.
know,
That's
you got,
okay. Anyways, winery.
So at this
self-serve.
place where there's this nice little couch that we're sitting on drinking wine, and it's Jarrett, Brandon, and I on the couch, and this woman and I assume her daughter sit across from us, and we're just minding our own business. And she goes, "Are you guys here for the parent-student thing? Is something happening in the college?" And we all kind of looked at each other, and we were like, "No." And she's like, "Oh, I just see all of these multi-generational families walking around, looking at us three."
Oh man.
And I was just like, I didn't
so
know what to say.
multi-generational. Like you would look at Brandon.
So is Jarrett the grandpa?
That's what I'm thinking. Jarrett has that little tuft of gray hair in the front. And I mean, honestly,
Maybe she had cataracts.
if Jarrett and Megan had a kid, it could end up looking like Brandon.
You're not wrong.
But I was like, wait,
guess.
I literally asked them, I was like, guys, am I the parent here? Like what is happening? Do I look like I'm
Although
60 years old?
Jarrett and Brandon would make a lovely couple of a adopted daughter.
So that one was real rough, but
I can't. I'm trying to figure that out. How
She
do you even
also-
respond to that?
okay, so the best was then she started asking us like why we were there, because we were like, no. And then she's asking us her personal shoe questions and how she was asking the dumbest questions about shoes.
She's
And
probably asking about Allbirds or something, right?
yeah, and her daughter's wearing Vejas.
Oh, classic.
Yep.
Yeah, you knew that was coming.
Yeah.
These are just great running shoes.
And apparently she herself had some reconstruction going on her face.
Oh yeah, probably a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should just ask her if she was multi-generational. So
You look like you got a lot
There's
of
a lot of
generations right
generations
now.
going on your face. But yeah, it's funny because speaking of like Veja, there's a friend of mine who I saw. It's like more of an acquaintance, but I was wearing the new On Cloud Surfers, which I guess
Can't even talk.
yeah, can't talk about, but they're good. But he was like, yeah, I bought a pair of those shoes, those On shoes, like a few years ago, and he's like, I thought they were supposed to feel like really comfortable. Those are the worst shoes I ever had. I was like, yeah, dude, you got hustled, man. Like back 3 years ago, you bought an On. You're walking on.
I feel like you could do a class action and be like, because they're like on clouds.
Yeah.
I'm like, what kind of clouds feel like this?
So I had to explain to him the whole
Speedboard.
and why they were terrible and how they're not doing that anymore. But he's not getting it. He's never buying another pair of those. $180 for the walk.
The funny thing is,
2x4.
I still think people are going to get them who have had a bad experience because we shouldn't get into a review, but just say good things are happening.
Yeah.
And then we'll move on from there. But while Megan was out of town, Robbie and I kind of, not together, but we had playtime.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, when the cat's away, the mice will play.
yeah.
Did you guys bond?
No. Robbie had his friends in from out of town.
Oh.
And I took your mother out, multi-generational, except for her and I are not that close. We went out to a local place on one night and got dinner, and then on Saturday night, I remember, if you've been listening to this podcast, I told you one of our friends went to Antarctica. And I asked him if he wanted to grab some drinks and food on Saturday night. So we went out and got obliterated.
Yeah. What time did you stay up till?
2 a.m. he came home.
That ain't Thomas time.
Yeah, if you guys know, normally bedtime is 8 p.m. 8 a.m. would be great. Right after my run, just sink right back in. Recovery time. But so we went out, had a really good time. And, of course, there was drinking and stuff.
Thomas picked us up from the airport, and it was just like you could tell he was like excited to see us, but there was like, he wasn't able to express it because he was like so hungover and out of it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And that was at 3 p.m.
What'd you get into? Martinis?
Well, I actually had a real martini, so we did gin martinis, and this gin was amazing that we had. It actually could switch me over from vodka. It came in like an oil can. Like it looked like if you paint a turpentine can, or if you changed oil in the 1970s.
Oh yeah.
Like that square rectangle can.
Kind of like the Tin Man, what the Tin Man would use.
Yeah.
To oil himself up.
Well, that
the
was
same
more of it. No, not really. That was like a geek. This was like a rectangular. It doesn't.
Oh, I feel you.
But it was really delicious. The food was insane. And then we went to
the restaurant was called Marta, by the way.
Yeah. And then we went to a place called 1801 in Fells Point, which now I'm going to have to take people to. It had live jazz.
Wow.
And the drinks were good. The food's supposed to be good. I didn't try the food, but I just really enjoyed the lively environment of the live band, and the people that were there were eclectic, so it was fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like a good time, the first and second parts anyways.
Yeah. So you have friends in from out of town.
I did. Yeah. A few friends came in, college friends.
I'm always curious, like when you're not drinking, what do you do with your friends, especially like old bandmates and stuff?
Well, when I'm not drinking, I say, okay, I'm drinking. So
What?
I broke it.
Robbie, you were so close.
All right.
What happened?
Here's the deal. I was like going into it being like, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Like on the fence.
That's your will if you're on the fence.
Yeah, you're done if you're even thinking about it.
And I was like, what do I do? Like, I've never one for streaks and whatnot, or for following through on things. So I was like, whatever. Like, the mission accomplished.
I feel like we need to set this up a little bit. You are not an alcoholic that is trying to do
right
sobriety.
I mean, I would
it's
say
not like you
like
fell off the wagon.
I would say at the time I was probably like drinking too much, like last fall, and then I was like, you know what? Like it wasn't like I was just like.
But what I'm not saying is we're not laughing at someone falling off the wagon
no.
who has a drinking problem. We're laughing at Robbie.
Yeah, I think I was like, yeah, exactly, yeah. But I was like, I want to just take a reset, and especially for Tokyo, take it more seriously. So I just stopped drinking, and then. Which was fine, honestly. Like, I didn't, and even right now, I'm like, probably won't drink again until Tokyo. But so I went like almost 3 months, and yeah, my friends were in town. I was like, you know what? If I'm playing disc golf, like, dude,
yeah,
I'm having a beer.
But
I didn't get hammered or anything. Like, we just like hung out, went out to dinner, went to the Venice Tavern.
How did that first beer taste?
You know what? Underwhelming.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like when I crave a hamburger sometimes, and then I go get a hamburger, and I'm like,
Honestly, I was like, because that's the longest I've ever gone without drinking since, I don't know, last 20 years. So I had no idea. And I was like, yeah, it's the same. It's not like the thing.
It had to have hit you harder.
That's what's weird is that I didn't feel like any. Like
I'm gonna say it's because all those like fake beers he's been drinking are real.
It might be.
Kept your
Yeah,
tolerance
could
up.
be. Could be.
Yeah.
But I did drink. I still drank like NA beers. So like kind of just had a couple normal beers, couple NAs.
That's the thing I think I'm gonna try to incorporate moving forward. It really worked well for me at the running event. A regular beer.
Yeah.
A non-alcoholic beer.
It's nice.
Yeah, and then you feel like you're participating, but you're not getting
exactly
weird.
Yeah. So that was nice. Yeah, wasn't hungover or anything like that. I had a good time.
I think I'm gonna not drink until Tokyo, but I say that I don't know if I can, like, fully.
Yeah.
Because like Saturday.
Yeah.
Because there's a Saturday between now and Tokyo.
I know. If there wasn't a Saturday between now and Tokyo, I'd be like, I can do it.
Yeah. No, I'm glad I did it. It was good. It was a good time to like take that off and kind of just reset. And
So
I
you're gonna
feel
have
good.
sake with us in Tokyo.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
This is the exciting news for me because I was like, we're gonna go all the way to Tokyo. If Robbie won't have, and I wasn't gonna put any pressure. I wasn't gonna be like,
Yeah, I
hey,
know,
come
I
on,
know,
dude,
I know.
man, have a shot. But it like a sake
Yeah,
with some sushi,
dude.
in Tokyo.
And I think that was part of it too. Was like I don't want to, not pressure, but it's just like drinking or having a drink with my friends. I was like, okay, that'll like break the seal, so I don't feel like weird, like or
Yeah.
other people don't feel weird.
well,
But I'm probably not gonna drink till then, so I don't really like.
even on a Saturday,
Yeah, probably not. I don't know. I don't really have. It's just like
we're having a free anything you want to drink day at our house on
yeah, I'm
Saturday.
probably not gonna do it. Not because of the drinking. Just like
It was weird because Ryan asked. He said, "Hey, you want to invite Robbie?" And I was like,
no, he's not fun anymore.
I see that dude a lot. But no, I was like, well, one, I think he has friends in from out of town, and two, he's not drinking, so I don't know how much fun because Ryan is a
Wow.
connoisseur.
There we
Yeah,
go.
wow,
So I'm not
that's-
cool unless I'm drinking.
Well, no, I
He
know that.
said not fun, to be fair.
Yeah, I said not fun. But no, I didn't
I
even
am
say
so
that.
cool.
What I and I'm worth it. I knew that Ryan and I were going to get into
I know
that.
shenanigans.
Yeah, and, what do you want to watch us do that?
No, I feel you. I
Like,
appreciate you
I
keeping
actually
me out
think
of that.
we would be the boring part of that
Yeah,
for you. Like,
yeah.
can you imagine hanging out with me and Ryan?
No,
And
especially
sober.
if you're sober and just you watch the progressively get like ridiculous and your conversation
Yeah.
gets more and more like
Yeah,
insane.
I have a video of us just saying cider back and forth.
And you weren't high either.
No, we're just like,
Okay.
we got this one beer that tasted so crisp and light. We're like, this is like a cider. And he's like, cider. And I'm like, cider.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah, it was wow. It sounds like Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah.
It pretty much.
Yeah.
It's probably the same thing.
But I lost some money in Keno at the Venice Tavern. It wasn't that much, but I'm usually used to winning, so that was tough. But and then we went disc golfing, and we were at Druid Hill, and there's the back part of the disc golf course there is kind of like a weird place, and there was I think there's just it's weird. And
There's a part of every disc golf course that gets a little weird.
yeah, but man, that place we played the back course because it was packed there, like just tons of people.
Really? Is it becoming a
Oh yeah,
big
it's
sport?
huge. It was like hundreds of people there.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Was it nice? Yeah, I guess it was.
it was pretty nice on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then so there was a ton of deer out there. We probably saw a dozen deer in the woods. But then we were walking up
Lyme's
to this
disease.
one hole, and there was a dead deer that was
Oh.
half decomposed,
Mm.
but it was a 9-point buck.
Ooh. So you wanted to cut the head off?
Yeah, but it was not decomposed enough. Like its eyes were missing, but it wasn't
Oh.
like
I think
It
you
still
can
had
get a
skin.
taxidermist to stick something in
it
there.
still had skin on it and stuff, except for the back half. That was all bones. Probably the foxes are going to town on that thing.
Oh. But your family isn't into wearing deerskin?
No, but I was like, do I come back like in 3 weeks? Because it'd be cool, like
You think it'll still be there?
like the deer skull.
Why do all of your stories involve dead animals?
Oh, gosh, I didn't think about that. Well, that was just a crazy thing that happened.
Yeah.
They're
okay.
hard to catch when they're alive. And
Yeah.
he's
What
not.
other stories?
I feel like, I don't know, we were talking about the foxes murdering birds or rats or something.
Yeah, but that's just nature. I just like nature in general. I
Okay.
think.
You do like sharks, Meg.
I do. That's fair.
Now I'm like self-conscious. I'm getting Dahmer-ish or something.
No.
Hey, look at this head I found.
Yeah. But like just like if you had a hunting cabin, you had like deer
Yeah.
skulls, look pretty rad, and not 9-point. That's hard to find.
I don't know when
even know
the
what that means.
points get like. So
Oh, like
every year of their life they get another point, right?
No, it's not that. It's just honestly random. It's
Wait, so how do you know how
the
many points it
antlers?
is?
The
Oh.
antlers, if they have a point on them.
So he's
many?
saying, how do you get a 9-point? Because I think you need to have an equal amount on each side.
They're not. It's unequal. Or I
that's
mean, it doesn't have to be, but it can be.
I don't like that.
But anyways, that happened. But And nothing other than that was too crazy.
So we should probably get into running.
Yeah. Wait, but one more thing that just reminded me. I learned the rules of Monster Car this week too.
Oh yeah.
A monster
Or
car?
Monster
Monster
Jam.
truck.
Monster. What is it called?
Truck. Monster Jam is the event, but it's
Okay.
monster trucks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know how it worked before. I just thought they were like driving around randomly. They got all the
You know what? I actually don't know the rules of the event.
Yeah.
You got to crush the cars and get around the track.
The course in a certain time. Yeah. Oh,
It's a
You
race.
get like all these points for speed, for like entertaining the audience. It's very thorough.
man, maybe we
Okay.
should do that as a
Here's the thing.
class field trip.
I would love to, because I went to one and it's a lot of fun. Like, it is goofy fun.
Oh, yeah.
And I could probably name more trucks than you care to
Well, we
know.
tried on the last podcast.
Did we do them all?
just did
Why
Grave-
were we talking about
We
them?
just did Gravedigger and Bigfoot.
Gravedigger, Bigfoot. Who was the other one, Meg?
I don't know.
What's the green one?
Is
I
it
mean, I'm just going to look them up.
there's
now.
a Gravedigger there's another spooky one that's like a monster that actually looks like a monster.
Yeah.
And then there's the bone digger or something.
There's I think they're modernized, kind of like how wrestlers change their names.
Yeah.
But
I think there's a bone something.
the Monster Jam's coming to Baltimore on April 30th.
Let's do it.
Lock it in. Team event.
Team event, team building.
I did want to take my kids there.
You can bring them. Just
So-
you got to bring earplugs.
I'll go through just some of them because there's obviously a lot of them. There's one called Just Get Her Done, which
You know,
awesome.
I wonder if that's Jeff Foxworthy's truck.
maybe Monster Mutt Rottweiler,
I like that guy. He's going to do well in Baltimore.
Stone Crusher, Wrecking Machine, Velociraptor. That's kind of lame.
Yeah.
Avenger. Bad News Travels Fast. True.
I like that
That's
one.
a good one.
Yeah. Oh, there's Son of a Digger. So
Okay.
that must be a miniature grave digger. Anyways.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So let's get into our trading this week. Meg, since you are the train person, what's up?
I'm the train person.
Yeah, you are most consistent and fastest.
I thought we were talking about Amtrak or that derailment again.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they're trying to convince those people they're not all going to die a horrible death.
Dude, that's going to be Aaron Brockovich 2.0 right there.
They should just call it that now.
Isn't it weird that the movie was named after her and not like what actually happened?
Well, it's focused on her.
Yeah, but I think that the whole thing was that
don't know.
here's a smart, intelligent woman who was able to do things that the bureaucracy couldn't.
Yeah. She was commenting on this most recent thing.
Is she like their fuck?
She, yeah, she was like basically like,
I like
I
how that
surprised
time.
myself.
Yeah.
I mean, she's basically like, don't trust anyone or that anything said, like anything that anyone says at face value.
I would when they told me about it, I was like, I would move. Like, I don't care how poor.
Dude, 100%.
I don't care how poor I was. I'd get in my car and I would leave.
But that's what sucks is that some people like if you are actually poor, like you can't really do that. You just can't.
You can.
And you're not going to sell your house. No one's buying a house there.
No, but you just leave and you go.
Well, live in a tent. I mean, I would do it. But
Yeah, tent, shelter. If my family, if my kids were there, until I know the facts, I'd be gone. And if I had to go take the kids on a camping trip to Yosemite or wherever, that's where we're going.
Man, maybe I kind of want that to happen now.
But yeah, you'd have I'd bug out. Like, there's no way you're going to sit there while they're saying there's chemicals.
Yeah.
Because you know this is like a story that plays out like 20 years from now. Yes, there was cover up on this, and people all grew a fourth arm out of their back of their head. You know.
Yeah. That does make you think. I've been like I was thinking I should probably have I'm not a doomsday prepper, but like just like a bug out bag, so it's like in
Like a
case
can of
something
soup.
happens, like because we are in a we're near DC, like any crazy shit could happen, you don't know.
Yeah,
But, like just something to have, like if you do need to leave the area,
Yeah,
it's probably good. I mean, it's just a good idea to be prepared for anything.
possibly. And folks, that is how you get a derailed conversation. We will be back to Megan's running right now.
Oh yeah, wait. Oh, we were talking about training. Yeah, wow.
We didn't even get there, but I was fine with
That was
it.
awesome.
Yeah, training's going fine. I mean, last week I called it opportunistic running. I would just run when I could.
But that's a good thing to talk to people about. That like
Opportunistic.
when you travel and doing stuff and things get out of schedule, it's still better to get something in or do something than it is to just kind of say,
Yeah, it doesn't have to be an all or nothing for sure. And, so they had evening runs planned, which I knew wasn't the mileage I wanted to do. So like one morning I'd get up and run in the morning, I just fit it in when I could, but I didn't stress about it because there's really no point when you're on someone else's schedule. So last week was just fun running. I got in a bunch of easy miles. I did my first workout in a really long time this morning, which went surprisingly okay. But yeah, my goal in Tokyo is just to pace max. So,
And he's trying to run a BQ under 310.
Is it a BQ for him?
Well, wait,
Oh,
I thought he
it
just
might
wants
not
to.
be
I think he
BQ.
just wants to beat someone in his office.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just wants
you're
to
right.
run faster than someone.
You're right. I think he's a 305. Okay.
Yeah, I
So,
think
yeah.
he just wants a 315.
No, 308 is what
308.
he told me.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
You know what I hate? That I know so many fast runners that anything over 3 now, I'm like, you got to just. Oh, that's pretty good. No, it is good.
Yeah.
Like when we were talking to Lindsay Hine at the thing, she was like, I can't believe, people, I don't want to just be running like a 320. And I'm like, dude, I am so proud of my 320. Like,
Yeah.
I'm happy
Seriously.
with that.
I mean, you tell any normal person you ran a 730 or 750 pace for.
They won't even know what it means.
But if you ran, people could know,
Yeah.
like if you ran 7 minutes and 50-second mile, that makes sense. And then if you say you did that for 26, a normal person would be like, that's insane.
And you know what that is? And I do think that there's so many talented people now getting into running. I think running is more popular and younger people are getting into it. So in the time that I've been running, either I've gotten to know more fast people or there's more people crushing the marathon.
Yeah.
I think it's a combination.
Yeah.
So you got your workout in, was it a long workout?
It was like 12 miles with some marathon pace
say
and
that's
some
long.
faster stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good.
Well, my running has been going like crap, but today I had my most favorite run with Robbie, except for one other run
What was the one other run?
when we did the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
That was probably my favorite Robbie run ever.
I'm trying to think of another one. I mean, the one before when we were in Portland was pretty rad.
Portland was good. The Golden Gate Bridge, though, like I was getting high off endorphins just as we ran across. I was like, I cannot believe we are in San Francisco.
Yeah.
It's sunny, beautiful. You could see for
Today,
miles.
and today was also a favorite. Oh,
And today,
that's cool.
today was a favorite because
All right.
I've been running like such crap.
Yeah.
You
did
know,
good.
we got out there and Robbie and I did 800 repeats, our last kind of like speed work before Tokyo.
Yeah.
And I looked at Meg because she's my coach. And we got out there and I've been running so poorly that I wasn't expecting anything or being able to kind of hit the paces. And not only I felt like Robbie was great at pacing, but it didn't feel as hard.
Hold on. Let me lock that in there because no one's ever going to say that again or before.
I thought it was perfect. Like when we were running, I felt like you were not ahead of me. You weren't behind me. I knew that you could have gone faster because when there were some obstacles every once in a while, you would speed up and go and make way.
It's like family double dare out there.
Yeah, but I felt like overall it was just a fun workout that they went by quick. Like I was like, oh, we're halfway done already.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It helped that the first one we did that downhill, so it's like knocked that out of the way.
Like kind of knocked the rust off.
Yeah, and just like you're one done because we did 6 800s.
Yeah, and the thing is that the place where we did it, the one loop around it's 800, and I thought it was funny because I like that I'm only doing one loop. Mm-hmm. And Robbie's like, I kind of missed the track.
Yeah, I like the two loops for 800. You know, like on a track.
Yeah, no, I hate that.
Oh, really?
If I could have a mile loop, I'd prefer that.
Wow, interesting.
Well, a mile loop would be pretty cool.
So the Patterson Park, it has a bit of a hill, but it's a perfect 1 mile.
If there was a flat 100 mile track.
1 mile. I mean, you could do the Newkirk Street, the way we did the Faster Bastards mile. That's just out and back miles. I've done that before.
Yeah, but see, then you got to do that hairpin turn, which.
And you have to avoid disposed
What do you mean?
cars.
Like if you're doing like loops in a mile.
Like if you wanted to do mile repeats,
yeah,
you would have to go up and down, up and down.
Oh, I just did like a mile and then rest and then mile.
Yeah,
Okay.
I suppose.
Speaking of which, for the Faster Bastards, we're going to do Newkirk Mile coming up.
Are we?
Maybe May. And then
hell yeah.
we're going to do an additional field. So you have just an all-out mile, and then we're going to have a beer mile.
Oh.
Where we'll set up a table every quarter mile.
Okay.
And so
Yeah.
as you run down, you'll have to stop, have your beer.
Nice. I say if the train goes, you got to jump the train too.
Like find a way to go past.
Get
Okay.
out. No, get over it.
Yeah.
You can do it.
All right, that's a deal.
I've done it before.
So yeah, so it was the first time that I felt like the workout or run felt like I hit the numbers last workout on the Wednesday, but it didn't feel like it was so much work. And this one didn't. I don't know if it's because Robbie was there or what. It just felt like it wasn't easy, but it didn't feel out of control.
Do you think maybe the shoes helped?
I do, and we'll get into that. But I want to hear Robbie's training, how it's going.
Okay. So pretty good. Like all in all, I've mostly been doing 8 miles every day, every other day, kind of not running huge mileage, but enough I just want to get to Tokyo, like healthy, run it. I'll be able to run it. It'll be fine. I didn't get my, needless to say, did not get my long run in last weekend. Had pushed it to Monday morning. And I was like, I'll do it like 17 Monday morning, which is insane to even consider. Like,
Yeah, I thought you were going to do it on Sunday.
well, there's just no way. Yeah. I got like 5 hours of sleep Friday night and Saturday night.
5-hour energy.
I did take 5-hour energies this weekend.
Oh, jeez.
But
Your body must be so confused.
I don't know. It was, because we stayed up Friday night playing Settlers of Catan. That's a board game. That's nerdy. And then
I've never even heard of it.
it's pretty fun. Yeah, it's like the best board game. And then we did had a campfire Saturday night in the back patio. No cops were called, so that was good.
Solid.
I mean, it's just you have like a pit. Like, what do you have?
Yeah, like a chimenea, which honestly, the name sounds so pretentious. I hate saying.
Actually, chimenea actually sounds low budget to me, like cha-cha-cha-chia.
Yeah, it does sound like that. I don't know. It almost sounds like croissant to me, like when you say it.
Croissant.
Just that makes me never want to visit France or wherever the country it's from.
Oui. En français.
Oh, man. You'd love France.
I probably would.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I do.
Which people are the D's?
Dude, I
French
love...
or Italians?
Oh, I think Italians are nice.
Oh, they're the nice ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the people in Paris were quite not nice.
I got a woman working at a Starbucks in the Louvre. I said,
that sounds like something that should be illegal in Italy.
right?
Like
No,
you
this is
have
France,
one.
but yeah.
the Louvre is in
Oh, it's in Paris.
Paris.
Oh.
So I'm getting a... Danny's going to get you for that one.
I actually did know that, but I was okay. In my mind, I was just on an Italian track.
Cake.
Yeah.
So I'm in a Starbucks in the Louvre, and I ask if they have any cream for my coffee, because everywhere in Europe they just have milk. And this girl starts like whispering to her friend, and they both start laughing.
Be like, you work at a Starbucks in a
I'm
museum.
like, first off, Starbucks is American.
Right.
All right?
Yeah.
Laugh your ass off.
What about
if you
that
want.
drink called an Americano?
Yeah.
Drink it
that's
up.
fair.
Yeah.
So like and there was a couple things like that. Like I asked for a martini in France, and the waiter came back and gave me a Malibu drink. And
Okay, what's the deal with you ordering martinis in other countries and getting
Yeah, we
like
had the
a
same issue in
freaking
London.
tequila sunrise or something?
I think the French guy did it as like a joke. Who gets a Malibu? Like it was Malibu liquor with some weird stuff in it. And I was just
I
like,
do think though there's just different terms. Like they just don't call them martinis over there. Like you have to say
Just
dirty
straight gin or-
martini
I
if
mean,
you wanna.
in England, James Bond's from England.
That's what I don't get.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
yeah. Anyway,
All right. So then, anyways, all to say, my training is going pretty well. I think I'm just going to, do my runs this week, do 8 to 10, and then do a long run this weekend.
it should be a shorter long run this weekend, shouldn't it?
I know, because
he's
I'm
not
rolling it
tapering.
into Boston.
Oh, what is my run this weekend?
Probably 12
Oh, I
I'm
love
doing-
that.
because
doing-
you hit 20 and 18. So
Yeah.
I think I'm doing 19 this weekend. Whatever. I don't know.
You'll do 12.
Don't say that.
No, I don't mind. I do feel good about running like longer distances now, so that doesn't bother me. But
And legs fine, everything's good.
yeah, everything's fine right now. So I'm just feeling pretty good overall. Just
I don't
wanna
understand
run a
how you
marathon.
get injuries because watching you run, you're smooth. You like it's just a nice, smooth running.
I mean, when I got injured last month, I was racking up some pretty big miles for me and doing a lot of speed work. Like,
So it's just total shock to your system.
it was just way too much, too fast. I mean, it was like I had a feeling it was going to happen. So something was going to happen. And luckily it wasn't that bad. It only really had to take a week.
I mean, it's not like Brandon running down a dune.
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
weeks before Tokyo.
Oh, I
Brandon.
saw someone on the green top today at school drop off and she was like, "Is your name Robbie?" And I was like, "Yeah." She said she did winter grit.
Nice.
All right.
She's like, she said she got a calf injury. Had to take like a month off. It's like, well,
Was it after winter grit?
read the disclaimer next time. But yeah, but she's like all good. She's like, I loved it.
Oh, that's
So,
great.
it was
Did
cool.
was she wearing the cap?
I did see her wearing it like last month when it was,
That's my favorite when I see someone like on Saturday, I was out running and not this year's winter grit. Remember the blue one with the pom pom?
yeah.
I saw a girl running with that and I was like, way to go.
Nice.
Out here doing your thing. Love
Yeah.
it.
That's awesome. All right. So
Let's review some shoes.
Okay. Yeah. We can definitely do that.
All right. Should we talk about the Atreyu first? I think we should get the Atreyu out of the way.
All right.
All right. So we did a first impressions, Robbie and I.
And except we made it the full review for some reason,
Yeah. I would think it's funny because
which I think I said to do that.
yeah,
so.
you did. But I think the reason why you said that was because right now, for some reason, we're getting pummeled with shoes and we're heading to Tokyo. So we're not sure how much time we're going to have to get to some of these shoes. So I think that's probably where you're coming from. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's why.
But I just wanted to retouch on this shoe because it kind of I felt like my intention for the review didn't really come over that well. And I felt like I wanted to just re-talk about it. So
All right.
here it is.
What did you like? What didn't you like?
Okay. I like the simple design of Atreyu shoes. I think it's just a preference. I kind of preferred when they didn't have a full rubber bottom on it, that it kind of had that nice, like I like two things. I either like it to be cushioned or I like to have a nice cushion with ground feel. And the original Atreyu without the rubber outsole to me had enough cushioning that your feet felt protected, but a lot of ground feel that you kind of felt that natural feeling with a light upper. And I love that the upper was something that they could customize and give you different, like he put graphics on it. You remember we did a Believe in the Run version of it. So I kind of, for me, it's just a preference thing. I kind of like that. And also we talk about price point and, we have shoes now that are $200 that are daily trainers, and we have shoes that are $80 that are daily trainers. And the Atreyu is one of the ones that you set the mark for me down here. It's almost like if Gooder has a pair of sunglasses that come out for $25 and then they're like, okay, now we have a $50 pair. You're like, wait a second. I really love Gooders for what they are.
I think they actually have that though.
Yeah. And
Oh, okay.
I think it's more like 35, but I like Gooders for what they are. They're a good disposable
You're right.
sunglass. So if you want to go into the higher range, you better have the things that I'm looking for in a higher range sunglass. I want a higher quality lens. I don't want it to be just a film reflective thing on the front of the lens. I want
It's gonna peel off when I sweat so much in the summertime, Gooder.
One run in the rain ruined.
Yeah.
Well, when I took them down to the Bahamas and the
Yeah,
salt water just
that's done
shredded
for.
shredded the lens. So that's when you're like, okay, I'm willing to spend more money if I'm going to be on a boat or something like that. But Gooders for what they are great. $25,
right.
You wear them, you toss them out. I felt like that was the first Atreyu shoe was like great for what it is. It's a shoe you can run in, you can do everything. The price is right for what it is. And I think in the review when we were going up and we were talking about how this one's now 110, we got it wrong. We said it was 120. But now that it's 110, it's still in a lower budget range, But there's other shoes that are in that range that compete with it now. So now it is going to go up against something like the Saucony Axon. It's going to go up against all these other brands. So that's where my sentiment was coming for the review. Not so much on, is this a good or bad shoe? I feel like it's an adequate, nice daily trainer.
I have you run in this, Meg?
No.
Okay. I don't know why, but I think Thomas and I have different thoughts. I felt like this midsole is like one of my favorite rides of any shoe right now.
Wow.
Like of any shoe. Like I loved it from start to finish. Did 3 runs in the shoe. Midsole feels like this is perfect for me. This is like my ideal like feeling.
So is it a bit firmer?
I don't know. To me, it felt like a little bit like ground feel-ish.
What I feel like,
still bouncy. So.
See, he got what I felt like is that the rubber keeps the foam from expanding. And so I felt like my first mile out of the door, I was like, yeah, this feels good. And Robbie had kind of planted in my seed that he really liked it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go run it. And it feels good. But by the end of the run, it just felt really flat to me.
That's what's crazy to me is that it literally the whole time I was just like, this feels like first mile 1 to mile 6. I maybe did 8 miles in it once. Was like felt lively, peppy. I feel like it ran faster than any of my other runs.
Wow.
It was, but I hated the upper. Like,
and I had no problem with the upper. I mean, it's not quite structured, but it's not like it was.
I don't know. And maybe I felt like it was sized correctly. Like there wasn't like extra room in the toe.
No, it's sizing.
I mean, just looking at it, the upper doesn't look great.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, you can see right here, mine's puckering up.
I was
it's the same thing on Robbie's.
But I was just sliding. Like I had probably 3 hot spots on my foot during the run, and really couldn't run it the next day, so had to take a break. And like I said, maybe that's just me and my foot. If you have a higher volume foot, honestly, you probably won't have that problem.
I didn't have as many issues, and I don't have a super high volume foot, but it just was I guess that's where the mixed review comes in, is Robbie feels that way. And so we actually had friends who were like commenting, they're like, I want to hear Coochie's, who's Matt Kaczarski, who also does reviews. They want to hear his opinion on it. We have a pair his size. We'll get him in here. He'll be the tiebreaker. He'll tell us if we're crazy about the upper, if you're Robbie, we're crazy about the midsole, if you're Thomas, and flip it out.
I mean, all that to say, $110 for the shoe, I think is actually pretty fair.
Yeah.
Pretty good price.
Yeah.
It is higher quality than the base trainer. Like you get a actual rubber outsole.
That's the thing.
You get some structure around the heel.
I think there needs to be some cuts on the rubber so that it flexes a little more.
Okay.
Makes sense.
It's basically
like I even think if you just did a cut along so that you had the front pad part and the back pad part and maybe where the large logo
and the fat pad part.
The fat pad's up here.
Yeah, we need to bring that back.
Okay. But yeah, this midsole area, if they cut that out just so that there was more flex and more like,
all right.
I think that
I agree. I could see that.
Could be that. All right.
Anyways,
so let's get into a shoe that we're unanimously like over the moon about. At least I'm over the moon.
The Hoka Rocket X2.
Yeah, I'm holding it here.
Yep.
It's if anyone ran in the Hoka Rocket X OG,
We're sorry about that.
It was actually okay.
it was not.
It was not.
It
good.
did not compete with the other brands in terms of a race day shoe.
In the time, I think the Rocket X was aside from the Vaporfly, I think was like one. And I'm not talking about the Carbon Rocket.
No, the Rocket X.
Yeah.
It was. I did not like it at all.
I'm pretty sure you gave it like a good review.
Are you sure? Can pull it up because I don't think
I was reading it recently.
All right, I'm pretty sure that I didn't.
Well, anyway, this version is a vast improvement, and I think primarily because now they have P-Bax midsole or Kiva midsole rather.
Yeah, we ran this morning, and this might move into my top spot,
like above Alpha Fly.
Hold up, time out.
Okay.
I'm coming back to the Rocket X. Because in the bad of the Rocket X, you said, got to put something here, but I only have one knit to pick. The tongue is too short for my taste. And that was it.
All right, but what overall am I saying that it competes with the...
You said it competes with the New Balance RC Elite,
Right.
but could be thrown into the same basket as the Endorphin Pro or Asics Meta Racer.
Right. All of those,
But I don't think there was like, when this shoe came out,
all
there
those
wasn't really, the
all
only
those
thing
were second tier. You see that I did not say Vaporfly. I didn't say
Alpha Fly.
Alpha Fly.
But I think those were the only two shoes that were out. Like there wasn't, do you know what I'm saying? At the time, everything was second tier.
Well, that's what I did. I threw the Rocket into like the bucket of nice try.
No, but I'm saying at the time, there was no first tier. Like it was just the Alpha Fly and Vaporfly. Like there was no
Right.
actual. So this was like, I feel like at the time, you were like, this is a good racing shoe.
No, I said I didn't say a good racing shoe. I would have said was the Vaporfly or Alpha Fly at that time. What I said was this was a nice shot at trying to be a racer. This is fun.
Yeah, this is not a fun conversation. Moving on. Let's just talk about the new version because no one cares about the old one anymore.
It's pretty fun.
All right.
It's pretty awesome. Like, okay, Robbie, why don't you go over what you thought of the shoe? Because
The Rocket X2.
that we ran in today.
Yeah. I think it's probably my top favorite racing shoe if I had to pick one right now.
And did you run in the Endorphin Elite?
So they sent me a pair and it was like,
Oh, too small, right? Or wrong size?
and the,
Stop.
all right. Yeah. You can actually hear that.
Okay, that's me bouncing the shoe.
It was like a little too big for me. And so I just haven't run in it.
Okay, but the Elite, we're hearing rumors that maybe that first round of Elite, the foam was a little firmer than they had anticipated or wanted it to
Well, we've heard the designers say that the intention was that the Power Run HG, which is in the Endorphin Elite, was supposed to be softer than the Power Run PB, which is in
Which
the Pro
is
3, which it is very much not.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So that could change my whole feeling on that shoe because I basically said it's too firm for me to be able to feel the plate. So that's where I was like, maybe you need to be more elite so that when you're putting all that stress and pressure on the plate, you're going to feel it. This shoe, I feel like you can feel the plate.
Yeah. I think with the Endorphin Elite, I laced it up and it was too long
Yeah.
for me, I think. And then also I was just like, this is very unstable for me and I don't want to recommend
Yeah.
this like right now.
Yeah, so I felt like the Hoka Rocket X2 had some similarities to the Endorphin Elite, but the foam underfoot is slightly softer, which is what really made it nicer.
I forgot you said that it was like, because I don't feel any similarities to the Eliteness.
Huh.
It reminds me of a better version of the Asics Metaspeed Sky, like the Rocket X2. It reminds me of, like you said, it feels like it's more cushion or like softer, just a little bit, but not as soft as like the Endorphin Pro, which for me is like too soft. And then but it has that same crazy like rocker snap off the toe, which is like my favorite thing.
The toe off in this is great. I thought the rubber on the bottom, I mentioned to Robbie while
There's
we were
a
doing
lot
it.
of it, yeah.
Yeah.
It just gripped really nice, but it's not like you brought up like the Adidas Pro 3 Continental rubber. What I liked about this is you still felt like, in that one I feel like you just feel the grip and it's smooth. This one I felt like you kind of had that like ripple effect through and you could feel like kind of like a nice sensation under the toes.
Yeah, and the upper fits perfectly.
Did you guys have any issues around the heel?
I was worried about it.
Because
There's
I
nothing
did
back
not,
there.
but I don't
both
know.
Jarrett and Connor said that they had issues with the
really?
heel. I never did. I just, similar to the Endorphin Elite, I wish that there was just a little bit more structure around the collar and heel. Like there's
Yeah.
just not much to it.
Yeah.
It didn't, but I was a little worried because it's like so thin, but during the run, it didn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it. When you're saying, would I choose this? When I said this might be my new favorite
Yeah.
overall, what were you going to ask about Alpha Fly?
Yeah.
I think I have to give up the idea. Like Alpha Fly 1, yes, was my favorite, and it's still, I have a fresh pair, so I still love them. But it's over.
Yeah.
And I think I have to accept that it's over and move on. And with that acceptance, that this shoe would be, of things that are on the market that people can get readily, hopefully this will be one of those shoes that people can get readily. This would be my number one.
Yeah, I'm same. I mean, which I'm shocked to say, to be honest
I know.
with you. Like
I
did
had
not
no
think
hopes for this.
I was gonna give a Hoka racing shoe, my favorite racing shoe of right now, I guess. But I would wear that 100% if I had to run like a half marathon or honestly a marathon, I would wear that shoe.
What's crazy is I feel like they're losing athletes right now. And I don't know if they're getting rid of athletes or the athletes didn't, they wanted to make sure they had a racing shoe. But I mean, how many people left?
Yeah, I don't know, but
Wait, they have athletes leaving. I don't know about that.
I mean, didn't it seem like,
the NAZ Elite, I think, just went
that's
through
right.
some changes
Yeah.
and stuff. So I don't know how
I wasn't trying to put you on the spot. I just honestly didn't know.
how much related to the shoes that was.
yeah. I mean, I think it has to do, it's got to, like if you're racing, you like Scott, what's his name?
Scott Fauble.
Yeah, Scott Fauble went to Nike. And to me, that's saying, I don't have faith that I can run my best marathon in your shoe.
Perhaps, yeah.
And then I try this shoe and I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
like this is just as good as, I haven't tried the Alpha Fly. No,
Oh,
the Vaporfly 3.
Yeah.
We haven't had in for testing yet, but I can't imagine it's that much superior over this.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I don't know how the Vaporfly would change. I mean, everything I want in a shoe seems like I have it in the Rocket X for my personal preference.
The only thing I think you could do is maybe find a way to drop weight.
Oh, me personally?
Yeah, you.
No.
Yeah,
I mean,
this,
it'd be your
this
favorite.
is
You think
this
so?
shoe is like is an ounce heavier, I think, than most.
Oh, you're
race
actually talking
shoes.
about the shoe. I
Yeah.
thought you meant. I was like,
I thought you
feel
were
like
kidding.
I'm pretty good. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, drop weight on this shoe.
Oh, is it? How much is it?
I think it's about an ounce heavier than most in
Really?
that realm. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably putting it in the 8 range.
I didn't feel it, and I guess I
Yeah, I
don't
didn't
care.
Yeah.
either. That's why I feel like sometimes the foam seemed to give the energy back. The plate seemed like I really liked the plate shape, and you could feel it during the run.
See, I feel like the Alpha Fly 2 kind of did feel actually a little heavier.
It is heavy.
Yeah.
Which it is.
Yeah.
Are you saying it's in that range or it is lighter than that?
I don't know off the top of my head.
That's
to be
funny.
honest.
Of
We'll
course, we
figure it
didn't
out.
bring the scale in here. The one thing I noticed, and somebody even called it out, does this remind you of any other shoe on the market?
You mean the cutout?
Yeah.
Yeah. We mentioned it in
Was
slow.
the super comp?
That looks quite a bit like the energy arc, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you have both sides split off on
Yeah.
either side. I don't know. I think the energy arc part of it is the shape of the plate, and this doesn't seem to have that kind of curvature that the New Balance plate has, from lateral to medial side. But
If you could have any shoe reviewer superpower, would it be, if you had to pick between two, would it be holding a shoe and knowing exactly what the weight is, or looking at a shoe and knowing exactly what the midsole stack is?
I would want the midsole
Midsole
stack.
stack all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just be able to like see the see the numbers from front to back.
like you're a robot, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I would love that.
All right.
Because the weight, they got scales, but we always have to call for
Or get
this sheet to know exactly
or
what
do
the stack is.
my
Caliper thing.
non totally scientific caliper measurement.
One other thing we didn't mention before we get off this shoe is that this doesn't seem to have like a giant stack under the heel. I don't even know if that's 40 millimeters, but the sidewall comes up. So kind of what I did like, it does hug your foot with the foam coming up over the sides of your, kind of creating a saddle feeling for your foot to kind of sit in. So, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think that it seems like it is over 40, maybe towards the midfoot a little bit, but yeah, in the heel, Robbie's going buck wild. But in the heel, yeah, I don't know if it is 40. It definitely
I don't
doesn't
think
feel
it's
like
40.
it is.
I mean, maybe this is my new superpower.
Oh gosh.
Because like this sidewall comes up pretty high.
Right. Even in the back, it still comes up higher.
Yeah. I mean, that's maybe 40.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to be probably giving this one a glowing review. I'd like to get some more runs in it. Obviously, it's hard when you have a speed day and you do the run and you hit your numbers and then you kind of have endorphins pop and you're like, yeah, this is a great shoe. So we'll wait and see if I have a shitty run.
How that
if
goes.
my opinion changes. Like, yeah, it's actually not that great. But
Yeah,
the
right.
fact that all three of us, and I almost called him Fat Foot Jarrett.
Wow.
But it's Wide Foot Jarrett. Stuck his foot into it and enjoyed the run. Was he able to wear this?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm surprised.
interesting.
Is it maybe?
Did it hurt his foot or is it good?
No, he said it worked well.
So
that
we could
he-
throw it on the wide foot roundup.
Yep.
Which I'm looking at. I'm going. Maybe the dude doesn't have a wide foot.
He does.
Dude, that'd be amazing if he just
Because
hustled
this
us
sidewall
for the
goes.
last-
Look at this sidewall coming in on the medial side. Like you'd have to have a pretty narrow foot for that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It worked.
All right. So all of us, initial impression, Meg.
I gave you my one word, remember?
Yeah.
Great.
Oh.
Great. Robbie.
What's your one word?
Really cool.
That's two.
No, that's one word now. Really cool.
It's one word now. What's your one word?
No, that's a terrible one word. You took my word. Great.
I
Took
know.
mine. I was going to say stupendous. That was the first word that came to my head.
I like that.
I hate that word.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll go back to really cool as one word.
I'm trying to think of when Actor Studio, he would ask people what their favorite words were, and who's the guy who was in 24?
Edward Norton.
No, 24.
That's 24 Hours.
Is that show
20,
on Fox when the detective you'd follow him for 24 hours?
Kiefer Sutherland.
Keith Sutherland, yeah.
It was 40. Was it
He's-
24?
He said a word. He said a word that I wanted to use here.
Snappy.
No, that wasn't it.
Pappy.
Not Pappy. I'm trying to think. Because I thought it was the most pretentious thing. I had to go look it up. Maybe, yeah, Google what he said on the Actor Studio was his favorite word.
I typed in Kiefer Sutherland Actor Studio, and it says Kiefer Sutherland loves the N-word.
No,
I don't think it's that
That's
word.
not the word. And I wouldn't use it to describe
Why does
the
it
show.
even say that?
Probably somebody put that on the web, somebody.
That seems like that might be a case of
Malignment.
no, what's the thing when you say something bad about someone? Not larceny.
Oh,
Not blasphemy.
oh no, I know what you're saying. Like
Libel?
It's legal. It's libelous. Slander. Yeah.
This is all that keeps coming up is that thing.
No,
All right.
what was the word? It's like
Pick another word and we got to move on.
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, it's really nice.
So really nice and really cool are now one word.
How about that? I just thought it was fun.
Okay.
It's fun. That bounce.
Gravitas.
Gravitas. That's it.
I found it.
That's it. Gravitas.
Wow.
I was like, that's somebody's favorite word. It's not even a pretty sounding word.
No,
I felt like he came prepared with.
that was actually Howard Stern's show.
Oh, it was. Why did Howard Stern ask him what his favorite word was?
I don't know.
I thought it was Actor Studio. Actor Studio. He went with the N word.
Yeah, it says he said it like multiple times on there or something.
That seems crazy. Like you definitely get canceled.
Maybe
for
he
that.
was just like, I don't know. Either
Also,
way, it
that's
was
not a
bad.
good word for this show.
Gravitas.
Gravitas.
Yeah.
I know. I was just looking for something pretentious to say.
Oh, jeez. All right.
What does it mean? I looked it up and I still don't know.
Dignity, seriousness, or solemnity of manner.
This shoe has gravitas.
Oh, you're right. It was inside on the Asker Studios so he asked him what his favorite word was, and he said gravitas, and he asked him what his least favorite word was, but he said the word.
Whoa!
So it's like I don't know. It's kind of
I just erased that one from my
it's like how about
lexicon.
just
So
think of
just
any
like
other word?
yeah, banana. It's like anything else.
Yeah. All right.
All right. I think that pretty much wraps things up. Thank you for tuning in. We are really surprised. We've done this new format where we split it up. We expected to see a drop off. I think it's not.
Let me check the stats.
Yeah.
Is there any reviews that we
Oh,
could
we
read
didn't
real
even-
quick?
No, we're good. Let's.
What do you mean we're good?
Megan's
An
had
hour
enough.
and 20 minutes.
Yeah, Megan's had enough.
Jesus.
I don't think there. Let me see if there's any new reviews. By the way, the listenership has not fallen off. It's exactly the same as the week before.
Excellent.
The drop podcast reviews.
Yeah, you looked that up.
Apple.
Megan, you have to sit till the
official
end.
reviews.
I literally cannot.
Okay, great episodes. I enjoy the length of the episodes. Perfect for a long run. The mix of chit chat at the beginning, shoe or race review followed by an interview is awesome. I mean, everyone knows all that stuff.
It was not anymore.
Yeah, that's Smith 720. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
And there's some other good ones, but yeah, leave a review, please. Rate this podcast, and then just give us some love wherever you give love at.
Yeah, things that are coming up. We will be doing a couple shakeout runs. We'll be doing one for Cherry Blossom. We'll be doing one for the Cherry Blossom 10 miler in DC. We will also be doing a couple of things around the Boston Marathon. So we hope to see you in Boston, and we can party.
Yeah, Boston and maybe Tokyo. We're not sure yet.
Oh, we're doing some Tokyo. We just don't
Okay.
know the exact details yet because there's some different rules and regulations.
Yeah, so thanks for listening in to this episode. Thanks to Brandon for producing it. Anything else?
That's it. Hi, Ma.
All right, so that wraps it up. Have a great week.